It's a big day in Noir Alley because we're about to present a picture that's never been seen before on Turner Classic Movies. I'm your host, Eddie Muller, and I'm also the guy who spearheaded a campaign to rescue and restore the movie you're about to see. It's a 1949 offering from short-lived Eagle Lion Films, Trapped, co-starring Lloyd Bridges, John Hoyt, and 22-year-old starlet Barbara Payton, who the following year would be named one of Hollywood's baby stars most likely to succeed. Well, there's a very sordid saga in that woman, but I'll have to wait till after the movie. Trapped was on the radar of my Film Noir Foundation for many years. We wanted to restore it because it was the only early B movie by director Richard Fleischer unavailable in a decent 35mm print. Most of the director's early work was for the B unit at RKO, but for this he was loaned to Eagle Lion, an outfit that had been created in 1946 by British film magnate J. Arthur Rank, specifically to distribute British movies in the United States. Rank also acquired Poverty Row studio PRC, which in 1945 had produced the grimy noir classic Detour. Rechristened Eagle Lion Films, the revamped company made low-budget Bs to play on bills below tonier British product. The chief of production for this new operation was somewhat of a legend in Hollywood. Brian Foy began his showbiz career as one of vaudeville's Seven Little Foys, a singing, dancing, and joking around family act that hit it big in the early part of the century, although Foy admitted he had no talent beyond being the tallest one. He made some comedy shorts for Mack Sennett, produced the movie series Hysterical Histories through his own company, and in the late 20s, Warner Brothers hired him to produce more than 400 Vitaphone varieties, which synced recorded discs with silent pictures. Foy found his real niche in the 1930s when he became head of the B unit at Warner's. His talent for producing punchy programmers on a paltry budget earned him the nickname Keeper of the Bees. Dalton Trumbo, who wrote his first screenplays at Warner's, credited Foy with teaching him how to write a movie. And when he became head of production at Eagle Lion, where he enjoyed virtual autonomy, Foy formed an intriguing alliance with an unlikely collaborator, Chicago gangster Johnny Rosselli. Handsome Johnny was a mob scout who essentially greased the skids for racketeers making a killing by taking control of the industry's labor unions and then extorting the studio bosses to guarantee that those workers would never go on strike. In between all this graft and corruption, Rosselli wanted to make movies, and Brian Foy was only too happy to work with a guy who had real influence. 3 classic noirs resulted: T-Men, He Walked by Night, and Canyon City. If you can't relish the irony, movies extolling the dedication and diligence of American law enforcement being secretly produced and financed by one of the nation's flashiest gangsters, well, maybe you don't belong in Noir Alley. Now, I don't know if Rosselli had any direct involvement in Trapped, but the film is clearly modeled on Eagle Lion's 1947 sleeper hit, T-Men, as it revolves around federal agents trying to bust up a counterfeiting ring. This time, the action is set in Los Angeles, which allows Fleischer and his cameraman, Guy Rowe, to capture great shots in parts of the city now long gone, like the car barn of the once sprawling Pacific Electric Railway, known to older Angelenos as the Red Cars. Refer to Who Framed Roger Rabbit for the fate of that once highly efficient system. And the star of our show, Lloyd Bridges, was making his mark in Hollywood as a beady-eyed, sneering heavy, a B-movie version of Dan Duryea, only more sadistic. His stock in trade was flashy cockiness, on full display here. And if you've seen his swaggering performance in the sensational 1951 film Try and Get Me, also restored by the Film Noir Foundation, it's obvious that Bridges was cast in it because somebody'd seen him in Trapped. He plays practically the same character, right down to the clothes, mannerisms, and taunting wisecracks. His foil here is veteran character actor John Hoyt, enjoying one of his biggest roles to date. Hoyt had a distinctive look that usually got him typecast as suave, sophisticated villains, and this movie is no different, until it is.
If you didn't have a gun on me, I'd beat your brains out. Cheap penny ante grifter.
Oh, I see. So you're big time, huh?
A very low budget prevents the script from attempting too much, but a few nice change-ups are thrown in by co-writers Earl Felton, Fleischer's favorite collaborator, and George Zuckerman, getting his first screenplay credit. He'd go on to script a couple of classic noirs, Border Incident and 99 River Street. I like to think of this film as To Live and Die in L.A. circa 1949. Like William Friedkin's terrific 1985 neo-noir, it has a Southern California counterfeiting racket, a dangerous and charismatic heavy, an undercover agent at risk, and the sudden and totally unexpected demise of a major character. No Wang Chung, however. The Film Noir Foundation offers many thanks to our colleagues at the UCLA Film and Television Archive for shepherding this project to completion, and to the Hollywood Foreign Press Association's Charitable Trust for generously helping fund it. Now, here's the TCM premiere of Trapped.